Nobody expected this. A spiritual leader, a political powerhouse, and a clash that shook global headlines. When Pope Francis spoke out, some say it was a warning, others say it was a direct response to rising threats and political pressure. But what really happened behind the scenes? Intro. Build up. For years, the relationship between global politics and religious leadership has been complicated. But when Donald Trump entered the global stage with bold policies, controversial rhetoric, and a fiercely loyal base,
I think if there's no deal, fighting resume.
And at the center of it all, the Vatican, a place known for peace, diplomacy, and centuries-old traditions. So what happens when the peace is tested? It started with ideology. Pope Francis has long been vocal about compassion, immigration, and global.
But are you worried it's upsetting your?
No, I don't. I have to do what's right. The Pope has to understand that. Very simple. I have nothing against the Pope. His brother's MAGA all the way. I like his brother, Louis. I'm not fighting with him. The Pope made a statement. He says Iran can have a nuclear weapon. I say Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if the Pope looked at the 42,000 people that were killed over the last 2 or 3 months as a protester with no weapons, no nothing, I mean, you take a look at that. So I can disagree with the Pope. I have a right to disagree.
Interference. Critics of Trump praised the Pope for standing up for humanitarian values. And just like that, a global conversation turned into a cultural flashpoint. As tensions escalated, so did something darker. Online threats, extreme rhetoric, and growing concern over the safety of high-profile figures. While there's no verified link tying specific threats directly between these two figures, the climate of division.
Jesus told us, "Blessed are the peacemakers." But woe to those who manipulate religion in the very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain, dragging that which is sacred into darkness and filth. Yes, my dear sisters and brothers, you who hunger and thirst for justice, who are poor, merciful, meek, and pure of heart, you who have wept, you are the light of the world.
The world reacted instantly. Media outlets amplified every word. Political analysts dissected every sentence. Supporters on both sides dug deeper into their beliefs. Some called the Pope courageous. Others said he crossed a line. And on social media, the debate exploded. Millions of views, endless arguments. One question: should religious leaders speak on politics? Today, the tension between faith and politics is stronger than ever. In moments like this,
Jesus told us, "Blessed are the peacemakers." But woe to those who manipulate religion in the very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain, dragging that which is sacred into darkness and filth. Yes, my dear sisters and brothers, you who hunger and thirst for justice, who are poor, merciful, meek, and pure.
But here's where things took a different turn. What seemed like just another disagreement quickly became something much bigger, because when Pope Francis speaks, people don't just listen, they react. And this time, the reaction wasn't quiet. Clips started circulating online, headlines began twisting narratives, and suddenly, what was originally a moral statement was being interpreted as a direct confrontation with Donald Trump. Some supporters called it bold, others called it inappropriate, but almost everyone agreed on one thing: this wasn't going away anytime soon. S5. Now pause for a second, because this is where the modern world changes everything. Years ago, a statement like this might have taken days, even weeks to spread.
Pure of heart, you who have wept, you are the light of the world. Tend not to know that it takes only a moment to destroy. Yet often, a lifetime is often not enough to rebuild. They turn a blind eye to the fact that billions of dollars are spent on killing, on devastation, yet the resources needed for healing, education, and restoration are nowhere to be found.
6. Let's be clear about something. Words from powerful figures carry weight, massive weight. When Pope Francis speaks about compassion, millions feel encouraged. But when those words are interpreted as criticism toward leaders like Donald Trump, they can ignite division just as quickly. And that's the fine line. A message intended to unite can sometimes end up dividing, not because of the message itself, but because of how people choose to hear it.
Ending the ceasefire with Iran. He's like, with who? Play this clip.
Had a very good conversation.
No direct attacks. Instead, there was consistency, a steady continuation of the same message: care for the poor, support for migrants, focus on humanity. But here's the twist. That consistency itself felt like defiance to some.
Okay, and then on gas prices, how much longer will Americans continue to see these high gas prices?
Well, they're not very high. If you look at what they were supposed to be in order to get rid of a nuclear weapon, with the danger that entails. So the gas prices have come down very much over the last 3-4 days. I know, that's what ABC says. But the fact is that if you look at the stock market's up, everything's doing really well. And the big thing we have to do is we have to make sure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, because if they do, you want to talk about problems, you'd have problems. So very important is that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, and they've agreed to that. Iran's agreed to that, and they've agreed to it very powerfully. They've agreed to give us back the nuclear dust that's way underground because of the attack we made with the B-2 bomber. So we have a lot of agreement with Iran, and I think something's going to happen very positive.
Fade away, or is this just the beginning of something bigger? Because history shows us something important. Moments like this don't just disappear, they evolve. They influence future speeches.
His opinion, he's preaching the gospel. And what do you say to people that do this?
Well, I want him to preach the gospel. I'm all about the gospel, but I also know that you cannot let a certain country, which is a very mean-spirited country, have a nuclear weapon. If they did, they would use it, and I think they'd use it quickly, and they would kill many millions of people. So, the Pope could disagree with me on that, but certainly we're allowed to have that. I'm all about the gospel. I'm about it as much as anybody can be, but I can't allow, as President of the United States of America, I can't allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And here's the story. They won't have. They've already agreed not to have. That's good news, and I think the Pope will be very happy. Very powerful blockade. The blockade is maybe more powerful than the bombing, if you want to know the truth.
Are you going to make the Arab countries pay abortion, all of the costs?
I think they'll make that. I think they're going to make that contribution. I think the Arab countries, because we've done a lot, I think they'd make a contribution toward the cost.
But step back for a moment, because this story isn't just about Pope Francis, and it's not just about Donald Trump. It's about something much bigger. It's about how powerful voices shape the way millions of people think. In today's world, one statement, just one, can travel across continents in seconds. And by the time it reaches you, it's already been interpreted,
If there's no deal, fight and resume.
Okay.
Very powerful blockade. The blockade is maybe more powerful than the bombing, if you want to know the truth.
Are you going to make the Arab countries pay abortion, all of the costs?
I think they'll make that. I think they're going to make
debated
that
and sometimes completely changed.
I think the Arab countries, because we've done a lot.
Here's what many people miss. Not every strong message is an attack. Not every disagreement is a war. Sometimes it's simply two different perspectives, colliding in a world that's more connected than ever. But when emotions get involved, that's when things escalate. That's when narratives take over. And that's when the truth becomes harder to see. So maybe the real question isn't who was right or who was wrong. Maybe the real question is, how do we respond when powerful voices disagree? Do we listen? Do we react? Or do we take a moment to understand?
Concerned about the impact that this war in Iran is having on our national debt?
Oh my God. Yes, of course I am. Stevie Wonder can even see how much this is costing us. So gas prices are going up. It's almost $10 in California, and fertilizer is going up. I mean, you name it, the prices have gone up. And this dude, Dr. Jesus, okay, is wanting to spend $2 billion of your money every single day rather than help you get health care. Fuck his ass.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Subscribe and stay tuned, because the next story might be even bigger.